first guest of the day, 10-4, fighting for the PFL on June 12th in Nashville, Tennessee. First time on the show, Kendly St Louis. Kendly, what's up, my man?
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
You hear us good?
Pretty good. Yep.
All right, let's get right into it. 10-4 as a pro. You had some wins in the PFL. For some reason, I don't know why the disconnect was there. You went to CFFC, got more wins, just kept on bulking up wins. Now you're back in the PFL. You've been on a great run. Tell us about it. Why the back and forth PFL and CFFC, and then we got a big matchup on the 12th.
Mostly it didn't really have too much to do with PFL. It was more management wise. I had to switch management, and basically my new management was able to give me a different contract with PFL, but mostly it was like management stuff.
Gotcha. So, okay, wasn't fight stuff. What to me has changed over? I think it's been like 4 years. You haven't lost in 3 or 4 years. Great run in your mixed martial art career. Mm-hmm. Is it the team? Is it just something clicked? Is it you're the perfect age, weight, all that stuff? What has really changed in the fight and for your career?
I mean, realistically, I did start at a second gym, Fight Sport Deerfield, and I'm doing my pro training there in the morning, but I also have my other gym that I've been there for like 12 years, MMA Science. But realistically, what changed the most was the mental part. I would say like physically, I've always trained pretty much every day. Like for the 12 years I've been in this career, like I've always trained pretty much every day. Physically wise, nothing really changed physically, just maybe a little bit more training because I'm doing pro training in the morning. But realistically, I think after my last loss, I had to kind of recollect myself because like I was doing things in the fight where I lost, like I would never do in training, like I would kind of have an ego in the fight, which I never do in training. I'm not that kind of person, but I think I was just putting extra pressure on myself to perform, so kind of like for like the last 5 years, I kind of changed my mindset, and I pretty much started telling myself like, I train hard, the sun's gonna come up, tomorrow, no matter what, so I have to kind of, take myself away from like even now, it's a weight cut, it's fight time. I don't want to obsess over the fight. I want to be like, okay, I know how to fight. I don't need to obsess over it, so I think it's more mental.
Love it.
And I think that the fight week is a lot more about the weight cut sometimes than it is about the fight, right? Like How has that process been for you? You brought that up. You mentioned the cut a little bit. Mm-hmm. Is this a smooth cut? You got a fight next week. Like, are you feeling good about that process?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. When I was trying to compete at 155, it was, terrible. Just I hated it every second of it. But at 170, I feel pretty good. Pretty solid. So it's not really that bad. Just, just gotta not have your ice cream and cookies and stuff like that. But, I can have it after I win this fight.
Absolutely. And this matchup in particular, I think is interesting. So you're out at Fight Sports in Deerfield, that you're training with that Gene, correct?
Yeah.
Were you in the corner with him in Orlando?
Yes.
I thought I saw a post with you in it. So
yeah. And in fact, I was his number one training partner, mimicking the guy for his fight. So yeah.
Wow.
So it was crazy.
You really
did you get your head off that center line? Because his opponent did it. His opponent didn't get that head off.
Oh, trust me. I was telling him, bro, I didn't like mimicking him. I'm like, bro, this is not a good fighting style, bro. You're going to take his head off. And literally, it's what happened, And I was like, bro, I don't like mimicking his style was like not for me. I'm like, I don't like it, And, we trained, we studied him. And, basically the game plan went as well.
So, I mean, you've essentially prepared for this guy as a cornerman and a teammate. Was there anything different preparing for him as an opponent at this point?
Yes, because me and Tad Gene has different fighting style. So I play more to my strength than he plays to his strength. So it's not much about preparing for him, but how to implement my game plan. So that's why I mostly focus on my stuff.
This fight coming up is in Nashville, Tennessee. L and myself were both there last year. Love Nashville. PFL did it really nice there. As a fighter, when you kind of get that, does that interest you at all? You're like, oh, okay, cool, Nashville, Tennessee, or you're going to be so locked into the weight cut, the fight itself, all the media obligations that you're really not going to, or don't care that it is in Nashville, Tennessee, or is that something that does, interest you?
I mean, I do care that it's Nashville because like any place I haven't been to, which I haven't been to Nashville, so I'm definitely I'm looking forward to it. But like you said, I'm gonna be locked in, so I'm probably gonna be in my room just working out till the fight. But I am planning to stay in like maybe 1 or 2 days after to see the I just want to experience it and see how it was. I have never been there, so I am definitely looking forward to it. I heard the food might be good.
Oh, it's great. If food is good and like wasn't it right down the venue? L was like the main strip. It was Kendly. It was a good time. It was a good time.
That's what I heard.
I don't know if you're like do you like Buffalo, like Nashville hot chicken, like that kind of food?
I mean, I like wings, but I don't know about hot, spicy stuff.
Oh, not spicy. The thing in Nashville, fried chicken.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm down for that. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
So good, so good. I got one big thing for you, Kendly. I'm a dad of 4. My oldest son just started kind of boxing. We got BJJ class tomorrow night, getting into it. And I got 2 young daughters at 5 years old, twin girls. I saw on your social that your daughter's starting to train and do some stuff.
Yeah.
How cool is it? Are you, did you push her into do it? Does she just want to do it herself? Tell me about that so I can study and put it on my daughters.
Well, as a father of, 1 little girl and you have 2, so you cannot kind of understand, in this society, in this world we live in, the number one thing is self-defense, like I wanted her to kind of experience, training as far as being able to protect herself. But as she get older, it's going to be her choice if she wants to continue. But the beginning is like the bare minimum is self-defense, But I mean, she loved it. She enjoyed it. There's kids her age, so she's pretty much always, with kids her age having fun. It's like maybe 30 minutes, drilling, but then the last 30 minutes is mostly just jumping around, kind of having fun. But like I said, for me, martial art is more than just fighting and everything. It's respect, it's honor. So that's one big key that I want her to, kind of, dabble in as she get older and realize like, hey, respect takes you a long way in this world, and like I said, biggest thing is the self-defense and,
No, I appreciate that. I'm eager. Like I said, my son just started boxing, so he's like all into that. And we're starting BJJ tomorrow night, so we'll get him rolling.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, as she get older, I would love to see her compete in jiu-jitsu. I would love to see it. She love it.
Very cool.
How would you feel about her fighting in MMA? A lot of fighters are like weird about it.
I mean, like I said, if it's her choice as she get older, then I'm gonna support her.
I like it.
You coach as well. Do you kind of cut back on that when you're in camp, or like how is that with your
pretty much, the last 2 weeks I don't coach, I don't teach, I don't do personals. So it's pretty much just, training and watching what I eat and sleeping most of the time. Cause, if I'm not sleeping, then I'm probably going to be trying to eat, or if I'm not training, I'm probably going to try to eat. So I try to just kind of lock in and just pretty much inside in the house, outside of the house, watch, TV, anime, whatever, game, pretty much like stuff like that instead of being out where, you kind of get tempted,
Yeah. I absolutely understand. And I want to go back to this matchup and just this card that PFL has put together, because there's a few welterweight matchups on the card as well. Besides yourself that are not in the tournament, obviously. And, for most PFL fighters, the goal is the tournament, right? Like that's your biggest payday. Looking at these other matchups, you have some other guys who lost in the first round, like your opponent Berkhamov. You also have Magomed Molotov, who just had a little hiccup with the weight cut and was, I think, very highly touted to do well in the tournament this year before that happened. Is there another matchup like Magomed that you want this year before the end of the tournament to prove that you deserve that spot in the tournament for next season?
I'm glad you asked that because I had somebody in mind. The person that I was actually studying before was Sharon Shriek or something like that. I think he's fighting on a show card ahead of me too. Maybe a fight after me. So I think I think if he wins, I would love to fight him. He looks like a pretty tough dude, and I'm not shy away from tough opponents, bro. So I think he's like a pretty, high level prospect they want to see win. And if he wins his fight, and I'm gonna win mine, so I think you let us clash, and then we go from there.
Love that.
I love it. I love it. Last thing on Thad Gene, probably the biggest fight of his career, main event against Jason Jackson, who, we were there all that week. Jason Jackson was the poster boy of that card in Orlando. But Thad Gene, to me, stole the card. He stole with the knockout and then his post-fight and everything of that nature. And now they're matched up together. It's a great fight. It's a great timing. Just what do you think of this fight? The main event, they're all on the posters. They're already got some back and forth going. I love this fight. This is the right fight at the right time, I believe.
I'm 100. I agree with you 100% because Thad is a hardworking person. For a 26-year-old, about to be 27, he's the type of person that's gonna take criticism and listen to you. He has his own personality, his own light, but he's also like, hey, I'm gonna listen. So he's a killer fighter, and I mean, to be frank, I'm like his number one training partner. I've trained against all different welterweights and even 85ers. Like, he's the only one that gives me a hard time at all. I'm cool. I'm cool with him, but I know Jason Jackson. Like, I've met him several different times. He's always been a respectful person. That war they have between them, that's a warrior thing. When that time comes for anybody, hey, that's gonna be our number. But Tad is, like I said, I think he's more well-rounded than Jason. Unfortunately, in the end of the day, it's going to come down to skill. It's going to be a banger. I don't think it's going to be, an easy fight for either guy, but I know Tad is going to win because, like I said, I've gone against pretty much all the welterweights in Florida, pretty much, or all the high-level welterweights. And the only person that, even 85, the only person that actually gave me a run for my money is Tad.
Wow. Again, did you ever train at Fusion XL? I think I remember you down there a couple times with Phil Rose, stuff like that.
No, it was Killcliff. You think about Killcliff.
Oh, Killcliff. Okay,
yeah,
you're right.
A lot of welterweights too. Yeah.
Yeah. I trained with him for like maybe 2 months or so when I was trying to look for a second gym.
Yeah.
So did you cross paths with Jason in the gym as well?
Yeah.
I get it. Gym stuff stays in the gym.
I like that. Kendly was like, yeah. Man,
we cross path in the end of the day. Like I said, it's the fight game. It doesn't matter what happened in sparring. When fight day come, anything can happen. So I don't have that ego. Like, if I would have lost, I would have said I lost. If I would have won, whatever. But like I said, I think me and him had this crazy round. But like I said, when I go against Tad, it's like I cannot slip up, not even for 1 second. That's all I can tell you.
Wow. Amazing. I can't wait, guys. June 12th. We're a couple weeks away, guys. Nashville, Tennessee, one of the funnest cities in America. Guys, Kendly St. Louis is fighting on the prelims. Thad Gene is in the main event. Kendly, man, appreciate you. Appreciate your time. It was late notice. You took it. I appreciate you very much for coming on.
No problem. I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck on skill on June 12th.
Thank you.
Kendly St. Louis. What a stud.
That's awesome. Love to hear it.